Hello, everyone. Welcome in. Welcome in. We are going to be playing some Shadowrun. Zach, stop it, buddy. We're going to be playing some Shadowrun tonight. Just got done with the reading stream. Hey, Zach, no, buddy. I will fight you. I will fight you. And I have armor. Now what? Yeah. Oh. I'm too fast. Ha ha. Ha ha ha. All right. So we had just finished up basically like a precursor run to the actual run that we're going to be doing. And we're going to be going and taking on as technology, which in the Shadowrun world, not the best idea. The corps are bad. As technology is the worst. What? Why are you being mean? No. Necrometer, a job well done as usual, and the plan has worked swimmingly, I might add. I am already patched into the Knight Errant comm system, and if they summon their high-threat response team, I will know. As soon as you're finished resupplying, I'd recommend heading directly to the Jewel District. The commercial district shared by a variety of competing corporate interests. As technology controls the largest share of the district, including the major utilities that serve. Yes. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah. You'll find the facility that you're raiding. You're holding on with your claws. Can you let go? Please. Let go. I feel it listening. There you go. Perfect. Good boy. Good boy. You'll find the facility that you'll be raiding. Considering the level of security that as technology is running, I wouldn't count on medical evac being available this run. In fact, I'd bet against it. That means if anyone falls unconscious in there, they'll be buried when the building collapses. Obviously, you can't let that happen. I'd suggest stocking up on medical supplies before leaving the cruise. No medevac for this run. Got it. One last thing, Necrometer. Frau Mueller sent me a message while you were on the OTK run. She says that when you reach the sub-basement of the facility, you'll find a security door. This door's maglocks can be opened via a voice print recognition system. Apparently, Frau Mueller surreptitiously recorded your meeting. She claims she added your voice print to the As Technology database. What does that mean for me? If our client is to be believed, you will have the necessary access to open the door, and the rest of your team, however, will not. When you reach the door, I'd recommend grouping up. Only you can open it, and there's no saying what you'll find on the other side. Not crazy about all of these new details coming in. She should have briefed me about all of this earlier. Agreed. Our Frau Mueller is clearly out of her depth. That said, we find ourselves between a rock and a hard place. We desperately need the money she's paying for this job, and we've already committed ourselves by attacking OTK. Despite Frau Mueller's lack of professionalism, we need to press forward, and that means that you're going to need to get past that door. What's that? Go no, Necrometer. We need to strike while the iron is hot. Oh, bloodline. No, we don't want blitz. The Jewel District is everything that your client made it out to be. Corporate complexes of all description crowd into one another, competing for the district's limited space. Lights burn in all of the windows, but the street stands empty. The streets stand empty. No shoppers, no pedestrians, nothing but silence. Quiet out here. A friend of mine did a job here once, told me that the local wage slaves are all issued efficiency apartments deep inside the compound. Apparently, the buildings are all linked up on an underground tram system. Bed to cubicle in less than 5 minutes. Most days, the poor bastards don't even get to see the sunshine. He shakes his head. That ain't living, love. It's a slow death. Makes my skin crawl just thinking about it. Research data from mass technology, Jewel District Branch. The Aussies conduct their research in secrecy and use their money and power to obscure the truth. We'll cover the secrets. We'll share them with the world. We will level the playing field between S technology and its competition. Timely delivery of this information will be well rewarded. Well rewarded indeed. Your comlink buzzes. There is a series of clicks as the connection is established. A moment later, Paul Amsel begins to speak. All right, Necrometer, that's the Az Technology Complex just. You'll note the heavy security posted at the front door. Those are Az Technology employees. They're dangerous, to be sure, but you could probably take them without too much difficulty. Unfortunately, the Aussies also have contracted Nade's errand to protect this facility. They're the ones we need to protect. Just to reiterate, you'll want to keep a low profile in this run, get in and get out as quickly and quietly as possible. Knight Errant keeps a high threat response team on site, and you don't want to tangle with them. Trust me. If you do need to go loud, give it everything you've got. You're going to be reducing the building to a smoldering crater anyway, but I'd highly recommend stealth over frontline still. Thanks for the heads up. No problem. If I were you, I'd begin by trying to find an alternative path up to the building, something out of sight. Once the facility calls for help, you're going to be on a tight time. Human and dwarf, both in their early 20s, stand huddled in the courtyard. They don't seem to notice your approach. She's been gone a long time, Mira. I'm getting worried, aren't you? She's my girlfriend, Heinrich. Of course I'm worried, but she can handle it herself. On the streets, yeah, but against the Aussies, I just don't know. You'll be okay. Brave words, but her tone tells a different story. It's plain as day that she's worried. I don't know what to do, Mira, and I still say that messing with the Aussies was a bad idea. What else were we supposed to do? That compound of theirs is lit up like a goddamn Christmas tree. They've got more power than they know what to do with. We need that juice, Heimer. Our solar collectors are garbage. If we can't keep the lights on after a few days of cloud cover, how do you think we're going to survive the winter? I know, Mira, I know, but couldn't we have just bought some secondhand panels? They can't be that expensive. We could have, sure, before Danny spent our last handful of new yen on those forged key cards. Straightens up, puts on a brave face. She'll be fine. She'll be back in a second now. Just you wait. She looks up at you, her expression guarded. Yeah? What do you want? Could you two use some help? Sounds like your friend has gotten herself in trouble. Her tone is sharp. We'll be fine. What we don't need is a stranger butting into our business. So just go away, all right? Have a nice day. Mira looked at him. That is a professional. He can help us. He takes a step towards you, his arms wide. Please, man, we do need your help. She just doesn't want to admit it. It's bad for the Aussies. It's good for me. I'll help you out. Oh, thank God, and thank you, too. He turns to Mira. Give him the spare key card that Danny bought. He's going to fix this for her. You can see the mistrust in her eyes, but after a moment's hesitation, she begins to fish around in her bag. Finally, she produces a thick plastic key card. She hands it to you. This will get you into the utility tunnel. Danny went down there about a half an hour ago. And she said she'll be back in 10 minutes. Find her for us, okay? Please bring her back safe. Pressure inspection shows you that the hatch has been mag-locked. It's a fairly sophisticated model from the look of it. Short of using an authorized key card, there's no way you're getting past this thing. Insert your key card. The indicator light on the mag lock changes from red to green. There's an audible thunk and the hatch pops open, revealing a ladder leading down to the utility tunnel below. circuited. In an instant, you size up the scene playing out in front of you. A young elf dressed in the same shabby chic clothes as the cafe kids were. Danny, cornered with no place to run. A pair of Technology security drones closing in for the kill. The drones are low grade, but they're armed and Danny's hands are empty. She's in trouble and she knows it. The utility of her situation is written all over her face. An instant later, the drone sensors alert them to your presence. They spin in unison to face you. Intruders detected. Weapons detected. Lethal force authorized. Danny's eyes widen and she hits the deck. The panic spills out of her scream. Look out. Danny looks you up and down. When she's finished sizing you up, she puts her hands on her hips and smiles. Thanks for the rescue. It takes a pair to bring a weapon into Azzy territory. Everybody knows that they shoot first if you're packing. I wouldn't have risked it. Heinrich and Mira sent me. They're worried about you. Now, Heinrich worries about everything. Price of being a dad, I guess. Mira's got faith in me, though. Anyway, yeah, I'll admit I got in over my head, but only a little bit. The drones wouldn't have shot me. I wasn't armed, but I wasn't looking forward to spending the next week in an Azzy interrogation cell. I've heard stories. They're true, love. He shakes his head at her. Word to the wise, if you're fool enough to try something like this again, carry a gun. Better to be shot than to let them take you. I'll take your word for it. I'm not planning on making a habit of this. She slaps the side of the power conduit with a smile. Shouldn't need to. The tap's all hooked up and ready. Impressive. Heinrich wasn't convinced that you could pull it off. Well, it's amazing what you can teach yourself to do when your livelihood depends on it. Iger leans in to inspect your work. Looks like a pretty solid connection. Nothing's jumping out at me as obviously wrong. I'd say you're probably good to go. She straightens, casts a glance back at you. In a Necrometer, we could use this setup to our advantage. In theory, we could manufacture a power spike from here, overload the Azzy's entire power grid. Without disabling the generator's safety overrides, it wouldn't cause any permanent damage, but the confusion might give us an opening to get into the building. She shrugs. It could be an opening. Could be the opening we've been looking for. Danny's eyes go wide. Whoa, hold up. If you do that, they'll trace it. As technology will find the power tap, they'll come down on it. You can make it worth your while. No, you can't. There's nothing you could give us that can make up for what you're talking about doing. So please, just drop it, okay? Alright, nobody needs that kind of fee. Find another way. Thanks. You know, some people say that Shadowrunners are ruthless criminals, guns for hire, just out for the money. Get to see that isn't always the case. I'm gonna bail on out of here. I've been stuck in this tunnel too long already. And like you said, the others are worried. But if there's ever anything that we can do for you, come by the shop. You'll be welcome at our place for life. We'll keep that in our back pocket. Danny looks up at you with a smile. There he is, our hero. Thank you so much, man. Thanks for bringing her back to us. Yeah, thanks. And thank you for helping to keep the Azzies off our tails. If Danny had been captured, that would have been bad. She reaches up, grabs Danny's hand, clutches it tight. Worse than bad, babe. A lot worse. She looks down at Mira and squeezes her hand tight. Anyway, thanks again for the rescue. We owe you a lot. If there's ever anything that any of us can do for you, you just let us know. This LTG tech's coveralls are smeared with sweat and grime. A scowl is plastered across her face. She takes a quick glance at you, then turns back to her. Unless you're here to help me fix this panel, you'd better stay the hell out of my hair. Otherwise, I'll call security and have them drag you. Actually, I think I could help you. Looks like your problem is coming from somewhere upstream. See those connectors there? Yeah, you're right. She looks up at you. The scowl has disappeared from her face, but she doesn't look happy either. Look, I really appreciate the help, but I have to do this myself. I'm already way behind, and corporate's going to have my ass if I don't get it done before lunch. Well, good luck with that. Stern-looking young woman in the uniform of an Technology security captain steps forward, an assault rifle slung over her shoulder, and she half raises it at your approach. This is a secure facility, sir. Show your ID or move along. If I lost my ID, perhaps we could come to some arrangement. No ID, no access. If you really did lose your card, you can take it up with corporate. He waves you along with the rifle. Now move along. Guess that's my only option. Danny wheels on you, her cheeks streaked with tears. She points a delicate finger at you. There he is. Goddamned heartless bastard. Well, Danny and Mira are clearly furious. Heinrich just looks tired. He shakes his head. Why'd you do it? You know that we can't fight the Aussies. You know what they're going to do to us. Sorry, but I've got bigger things to worry about. Then your cafe. Google runner bullshit. I knew we couldn't trust you people. Get the hell out of here. I never want to see your face on our property again. Technology guard. The facility is under high alert. Please avoid restricted areas and carry your ID at all times. Advanced Technology, Security Guard, and LTG Tech are locked in a heated exchange. They don't seem to notice your approach. What you're telling me is this. You were working on our LTG box, and then all of a sudden everything magically overloaded and went to hell, taking our communications along for the ride. And you had nothing to do with it? Look, pal, you are a security guard. I am a technician. And for the last time, I'm telling you, this was not my fault. Yeah, but you were poking around in there. She waves her arms in exasperation. I wasn't even working on the power system, you dolt. How could I have done anything to the power grid? It doesn't work like that. I don't like your attitude, lady. I don't like your face, idiot. The argument increases in volume and ferocity. In a few seconds, they're screaming at one another. Sweet. Glittering halls of the Aztechnology facility stand in sharp contrast to the megacorp's unsavory reputation. Everything in here screams money, from the mirror polished on the floors to the obsidian inlays in the walls. The generators and the Bloodline project lie somewhere beneath your feet. Impressive work, Necrometer. You made it into the facility completely undetected. I'm not seeing any comm chatter about a security breach. In addition, your sabotage of the Azzy's power grid has thrown the entire facility into disarray. Even if you are discovered, I would expect any response to be disorganized at best. I have marked an elevator on your PDA. I'd start making my way there if I were you. It's the most efficient path to reach your objective. Good luck. Game, why the hang up? Really? Grimly, your teammates set about struggling into the complicated and ill-fitting uniforms. After a few minutes of cursing and a couple of popped rivets later, the job is done. You take a moment to examine your team, then nod in satisfaction. They look like a group of authentic knights errant security officers. Well, that's handy. I'm not much for sneaking around, but if we're going to do it, we might as well go all the way. He claps you on the shoulder. Good find, boss. The elevator guard steps towards you, his weapon slung. I didn't hear anything about KES that's being deployed in this sector. He pauses for a moment, then checks himself. Then again, with the power overload, nobody knows what the hell's going on. I haven't heard from Central in half an hour. Why are you here? Yeah, I was in the same boat until a few minutes ago. Just heard from Central and they want a complete perimeter assessment. Strange. Did they give you any explanation for this request? Do they ever? He chuckles. No, of course they don't. Well, best of luck. Let me know if anything's out of order. It is my sector. You got it, pal. And be careful. An intruder could be Eddie. You know, yeah, tell me about it. The elevator guard steps towards you, his weapon slung. Didn't expect to bump into any of you knight-errant guys out here, but then with the power overload, who knows what's happening. They tell you guys anything about what's going on? Not much. Just Central wants a complete perimeter assessment. Think the power outage has them spooked. They're not the only ones. I don't like being alone in this building with the lights on. He shakes his head. Well, anyway, good luck with the patrol. Shout out if you need anything. We'll do. Activate terminal. Terminal springs to life. Quick scan with contents reveals little value, but you do find a message that catches your attention. Katja, I've got some pretty grave concerns about this new project. I don't know what they're doing downstairs, not exactly anyway, but I'm pretty thoroughly creeped out by some of the inventory requests that have been coming up to my desk recently. When we decided to sign on with As Technology, we talked this over. I knew the company's reputation, that I could handle whatever came my way, but this, I don't know, Katja. Last order crossed the line. What could the research team need with this bulk order of gags, restraints, and 500 liters of hydrochloric acid? Uh-oh, I've got to run. Just got a message over the comm. Looks like Central wants to see me about something. I'll catch you back at your apartment later tonight. Let's talk this over a bottle of wine. I know I could use it. Something tells me she never got to enjoy it. Okay, we've done all this. Okay, terminal and scan its contents. Pay data DNA donor list. Worried-looking man in an expensive suit is pacing back and forth in this room. He locks eyes with you, and you can feel the fear radiating out of him. He looks surprised to see you, but not alarmed. Oh, hey, I don't usually see knight-errant personnel wandering around this part of the building. What's up? Just making my rounds. They've doubled patrols. He looks relieved. All right. Well, I won't keep you, but this makes me feel safer knowing that you guys are just doing my job. Your stomach lurches as the elevator plummets downward into the bowels of the Aztech Technology facility. A faint but omnipresent thrumming sound raises the hair on the back of your neck. The deeper you go, the more certain you become this place is vibrating with power, both from generators and from something else. Well then, Necrometer, I'm not seeing any comm chatter to indicate the Knight Errant is aware of your presence. In addition, your manufactured power outage is causing ongoing problem for both Knight Errant and Aztec Technology. I've located a new exit point for you, a security door conveniently located near the generators. I'll mark its location on your PDA. Keep up the good work, Necrometer. I'll contact you if anything changes. The door slides open with a hiss, revealing a surprised-looking young woman in an Aztec Technology security uniform. She steps towards you, her weapon drawn. Stop. Who are you? She half raises her rifle. The weapon looks especially menacing in the red glow of the emergency light. Identify yourself. Calm down. My name's Mueller. Knight Errant sent me. She sounds suspicious, on edge. Let me see some ID. Do me a favor and ditch the paranoia. Central sent me to relieve you. She shakes her head. What you're saying is true. Why haven't we heard anything over the comms about it? They haven't told you because they can't tell you, love. The power outage took the comms down. She pauses, a look of uncertainty on her face. Come to think of it, I haven't heard any comm chatter in a while, so I guess that makes sense. Of course it does. Now, are you going to report to Central, or do I need to go back there and tell them that you refused their order? All right, we're going. Thanks for the heads up. Up to Central. Well, it couldn't last forever, Necrometer, but it looks as though the Azzies have sorted that overload that you've had into the power grid. Watch your step, my friend. Their comm activity I'm seeing is intense. If you trip an alarm now, Knight Errant will be on you before you can blink. Best to keep moving. The control panel for the generators can't be far from your location. When you reach it, the password is Balotl. Balotl? What else? That? Should allow you to disengage your safety overrides, get the job done, and get out. Necrometer, I'll be waiting. A group of Aztec Technology security personnel step to the door. When they see you, they come up short. The guard in the lead steps towards you, smiling. Crazy night, huh? Still can't believe how badly that power overload messed up the system. Someone in maintenance is getting reamed over this one, I'm telling you. He shakes his head. I've never seen Central in such a panic. Troll standing behind him cuts in. Are you our relief? We've already been here well past the end of our shift. Sorry it took so long. I've been having a rough time getting through to Central myself. Well, you're here now. He flashes you a smile. Thanks. Gotta get home to the wife. She's going to give me hell enough as it is. I was supposed to be home an hour ago. Now, if you'll just let me scan your ID, I'll pass the torch on to you. The troll glances down at his PDA and grimaces. Be snappy about it if you could. I really am in a hurry. Don't worry about it. I've already scanned in. And don't forget to clock out. You know how Central gets about these things. The guard closest to you nods. Thanks for the reminder. Can't afford another administrative penalty. Come on, guys, let's get the hell out of here. That choice to go security for the knowledge was a really well placed choice, apparently. Great. Um, um, um. Okay. Yeah, there it is. Here. Okay, we'll go killer on you. Erosion on you. And then we'll do blast. Killer on you. Just do a couple of attacks. Data store contains records of all data pertaining to the facility's day-to-day operations. Scan node for pay data. Cursory exploration of data stores turns up nothing of value. There are hundreds of log files, but the majority of which contain spending and logistics reports. Maglock with a voice print recognition system has been affixed to the store. According to Amsel, Frau Mueller has already logged your voice print into the system, but there's only one way to be sure. Okay, open up authorization, Necrometer. The screen background changes from blue to green. Access granted. You hear the sound of heavy machinery rumbling to life. A moment later, the door locks on the door release. The door slides open, revealing a group of figures wearing green cloaks. The nearest of the figures looks up from his work. His stare seems to bore into you. Who are you and why are you here? His voice is slow and soft, with a slight Estlander accent. Answer me, now. We're your new security detail. Central sent us down to familiarize ourselves with the lab. He pauses for a moment, inspecting you. Well, you certainly look the part, and more security is always welcome. But you understand, of course, that I can't just take your word. Of course you can't. Why don't you come a little closer? I'll show you my ID. Oh, no need. He smiles graciously. I know a better way of determining the truth. In a single smooth motion, he pulls a knife from his belt and draws it along his own forearm. The blade leaves a stripe of red blood in its wake. You reach for your weapon, but too slowly, much too slowly. A horrible twisting sensation racks your guts and a blinding pain ignites behind your eyes. As you struggle to keep your footing, you hear grunts of pain from all around you, your teammates doubling over in agony. The blood mage stands impassively, his lips slightly parted. A whispered chant spills from him, and every syllable is like another dagger in your stomach. Your tongue feels strangely thick, and to your horror, it begins to move of its own accord, crawling, probing, straining against the roof of your mouth, struggling for release. Somehow, on some instinctive level, you know that the sensation will only continue to get worse, and you know that speaking the truth is the only way to stop it. Body 6, suffer through it. The pain is hideous, but you're tough as nails. You ignore it and let your mind go somewhere else. It works, but only just barely, and the pain is getting worse. Through it all, you feel the maddening, compulsive desire to tell the truth. You know that if you don't act now, you'll eventually give in. It's just a matter of time. and clench your jaw and the words begin to spill out of you. They come in a torrent, a flood. You tell them about your job, about your client, about Amsel, about Monica, and Green Winters, everything. You wrench out the truth and the pain begins to subside. That was very enlightening. Thank you for your cooperation. I should have tastefully memorialize you in my report. Ow. Uh-oh. Dietrich, why are you hurt? That's not okay. Uh-oh, I don't know what you just did, but I'm seeing a sudden burst of comm traffic. You must have tripped an alarm of some kind. Get ready, Necrometer. The high threat response team is on its way. No. I'll put that guy down. Who are you? Oh, nobody important. Erosion, killer, medic, suppression, boom, boom. Firm. I also think you should check this out. It might be important. Well, I'm a little tied up at the moment. You up there. Healer boy. Execute the attacker. Killer. Out of the gateway. We have the attacker go and hit the east door for us. That lets us just run back this turn to go here, I guess. You get to go there. Enter. Erosion. Put you up there. Heal me. Yeah, okay. Let's go ahead and suppress the system. Boom. 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 Here. There. Killer. Bam. Restore. Check out. Attempt to decipher the language. Terminals display blossoms to life at your approach. Reams of technical information and arcane figures fill the screen. Unfortunately, none of it is written in a language that you can understand. Sweeping your eyes over the written material, you recognize a number of words in Latin and Spanish roots, but the language is something altogether different. Many of the words are long and exotic, and there appears to be a form of pictographic language interspersed throughout the text. Your best guess is that this is an ancient form of Nahuatl. Why the Yazis are using it here is beyond you. Judging by the amount of arcane symbology on the display, it's a fair bet that these files are related to the Bloodline Project. If you could find someone capable of translating them, the information contained within would almost certainly shed some light on what the Yazis have been up to, what Frau Mueller was so afraid of. Good data for later analysis. Boom. Boom. And the cell stares at you through red-rimmed eyes. His body is marked with obvious signs of mistreatment and neglect. He opens his mouth to speak, but then closes it again and swallows hard. He tries again, and the voice that comes from him is tremulous and weak. You've killed the masters. You've slaughtered them like lambs. How is that possible? No time for 20 questions. You want out of here or not? He continues to stare at you, bug-eyed and unblinking. His mouth agape. Me? Out. How could I go out? It is my place to be in this cage. It is what we were bred for. But you killed the masters. It is our place to die, not theirs. Sorry to disappoint you. Slack-jawed man looks genuinely confused. Disappointment? No, it is not our place to feel such things. My brothers and I are grown here, gestated in tanks to serve our purpose. The masters will it be so. Purpose? What purpose? What are you talking about? We are test subject. Our purpose is to suffer and die. His voice is utterly matter of fact. If any of this bothers him, he doesn't show. In so doing, we provide useful research data. It is what we were made for. Can you tell me about the Bloodline Project? The mages wake us up from our slumber, sometimes in twos, sometimes more. One is taken to another part of the facility, the testing lab. The rest remain in their cells. The mages run tests, and the entire group die. So the mages do something to one of you, and the entire group feels the effects? He nods. Yes, they haven't chosen a subject for my group yet, but when they do, my death will come. I won't hear the chanting, I won't see the mage, but I will share in the suffering, and I will die. And then another will be grown to take my place. Well, you don't have to worry about any of that anymore. Doors are open. You can get out of here. Eyes go wide. His eyes go wide. It looks as though he's having difficulty processing what you've just told him. Out, but our purpose. Stop arguing and listen to me. You need to get out of here now. He nods, wide-eyed. Yes, we will run. All of us. Thank you. I need to run up there. Well, I think Glory can do it. Disable generators. Safety overrides. Disengaging safety overrides while generators are in operation is not recommended. Do you want to proceed? Do it. Overload the generators. Instant later, a high-pitched screeching noise erupts from the generators. Tremors rock the facility, shaking the ground under your feet. Over the building speakers, a synthesized female voice repeatedly states the obvious. Generator overload imminent. Please evacuate the facility. That's done it. Come on, boss. Let's get the hell out of here. Go. Ready, ready, run, run. Ready, ready, run, run. Ride my ass up there. Right up to there. Let's go ahead and go down my attacker. And let's kill erosion. We'll do killer. Blast. Akisaki. Missed. Mr. Attacker, go there. That saves me a little bit action and distance. Run there. Get over there. Guess we run it now. And now we check out. Managed to do it in one initiative pass. Exit. 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 Just to be sure. Okay, exit. Gradually, the ringing in your ears clears and the world comes into focus. The generator overload did its job, just as Frau Mueller said it would. The S technology facility has been reduced to a smoldering crater strewn in with chaotic jumble of cracked marble, melting plastic, and broken support beams. You can barely make out the faint wail of approaching sirens. They're still far away, but they won't be for long. It's funny, I heard lots of rumors about the Yazzies over the years, stories about making monsters and consorting with evil spirits, that sort of thing. I'd always assumed that they were urban legends at best or xenophobia at worst. Definitely not true at any rate. Looks like I was wrong. The Yazzies are boogeymen, just like the stories say. It's enough to make a man rethink some things. Do you have anything to worry about, Dietrich? Any chance the Aztec Technology Corporate could use blood magic to track us? After an explosion like that, he brushes an errant flake of ash off his shoulders. Nah, boss, not a chance. Anything we might have left behind, any blood or skin or hair, has been cooked right through. We'll be fine after we clear out of here. The approaching sirens grow louder. They're now accompanied by another sound, the whine of approaching rotorcraft. What they were doing in there was wrong. More than that, it was terrible. They had to be stopped, and we stopped them. It's as simple as that. We can talk about this later. We don't want to be here when those response vehicles arrive. The test subjects that you liberated mill about aimlessly, blinking against light. The foremost clone takes a half step forward. But what of us? We have no purpose now. This is not supposed to happen. It is wrong. Without our masters to guide us, what will we do? Whatever you want to do. You're free now. You're not supposed to be anything. Find yourselves a new purpose and make it a good one. The lead clone stares into the crater, trembling. We will try. She puts a hand on your shoulder. Come on, Necrometer. Let's go home. He said. Yeah, I see. Oh, you actually liked it. I see. My little goober. Yeah, I see. The memories of the explosion that toppled the S technology facility keep you company on your ride back to the cruise bazaar. You barely managed to outrun the blast. Now the facility lies buried under thousands of kilograms of twisted rebar and reinforced concrete. Zag! No! Now the facility lies under thousands of kilograms of twisted rebar and reinforced concrete. No doubt a considerable blow to AS Technologies' activities here in Berlin. Mission successful. It's time to get paid. But we're going to take a quick BRB first. All right, now we're in the cruise bazaar. I need some. Any thoughts about that last run you'd like to share? You know, boss, living in Berlin, I never thought I'd get a chance to go up against a blood mage. Guess today was my lucky day. Not sure how I feel about you freeing those clones. It might have been kinder to put them out of their misery. It was your call, though. Need someone who can read this data that we listed on the technology run. Any thoughts? No idea, boss. But if you want my advice, I say that you should delete that information right away. You saw what those blood mages were capable of. Whatever they were working on, whatever Project Bloodline was, you should let it stay buried. Any updates? Well, right now. Necrometer, what can I do for you? Any thoughts about that last run? Complex needed to be buried. What they were working on in there, it was an atrocity, Necrometer. I'm glad we were able to put a stop to it. Saving the clones was a bold move. It would have been easier to leave them where they were and consider them collateral damage. But it was the right choice. Got a job to prepare for. I don't have any more time to talk. Also, that last run. Decorator. You don't look so good. Blizzard looks grim. His customary table is littered with cigarette butts. The heavy bags under his eyes tell you haven't slept in a while. No, I don't imagine. No, I imagine that I don't. Guess the rescue attempt didn't go so well. No, it did not. As it turns out, she didn't need to be rescued, at least not before I showed up. I don't really want to go into this, Chief, so here's the abridged version. I made a mess of things. Your world-class skills? How could that ever have happened? No, Chief, I really don't. I hit the data node just like last time, and just like last time, navigating it was a breeze. At least it was in the beginning. The Aussies must have beefed up their security over the past year. You don't say. He shakes his head, a miserable expression on his face. It was all going so well, but I guess I must have tripped something in the blink of an eye. There were alarms going off, and then I had black guys bearing down on me from all directions. I thought I was a dead man. How'd you make it out? Well, Emily found me, and, he turns his head and looks away. He rescued me. I'd have been ecstatic to see her if I wasn't so ashamed. She didn't look particularly happy either. Finally reunited with your lost love. That's something, right? Yeah, sort of. Actually, no. Things are worse now, Chief. Much, much worse. Last I saw of Emily, she was being chased down by black ice. They'd gotten a trace on her. She must have jacked out because she just disappeared. She looked really, really angry. Livid would probably be a better word. And that's about it. She's gone. Later. He looks down into the cup of soy calf in his hands. I don't know if I'll ever hear from her. Sorry to hear it, Blitz. That's rough, but you never know. She might come over. Yeah, I guess so. Cheerful tone chirps out on the terminal on Blitz's table. He jerks up in surprise and hurriedly turns to read the message on the screen. As he mouths the words, you can see the hope in his face flicker and die. If anything, he looks even more miserable than he did before. What's going on, buddy? He glances at you with red-rimmed eyes, then averts his gaze. Without a word, he turns the terminal so you can read the message on screen. Congratulations, jackass. You managed to blow an op 5 years in the making and endanger Emily's life, all in one fell swoop. Thanks to you, we're going to have to work it very hard to keep your ex alive. Don't bother looking for her again. She's being moved somewhere very, very far away. She never wants to speak with you again, by the way. Idiot. Freedom, equality, information. Chuckled. He clamshells the terminal closed and puts his head in his hands. Well, at least you know that she was working for the Shockwell reader. His reply is dull and flat. Somehow, that's not a consolation. No, I guess. Chief, let me ask you something. Did you suspect that something like this was going to happen when you let me go in there? Did you know that I was going to fuck it up somehow? Honestly, I had a pretty good idea. Well, then why did you let me do it? I thought we were friends. Better friend than you know, I just got you out of a toxic relationship. You don't know what you're talking about, Chief. You'd never even met her. I don't have to. She could have avoided all this and protected her Oso secret mission if she'd communicated. She left me notes. Yeah, inflammatory notes that provided almost no useful information. Look, you've made your fair share of mistakes, but no more than she did. He hangs his head. I don't know, maybe I still love her, though. Something you'll have to work out for yourself. I'll give you some space and leave you to it. All right, Chief, you do. I've got some thinking. That bird went out really well, actually. I didn't use any of the medical supplies I brought. Let's get it. No. I have nothing new for you, Necrometer, and we have no time to waste. You have Alicia's money, and we need that information. Alice's money, we need that information. Get to the rabbit hole and hurry back. We must find Valclair before the fire ring finds us. Also paid data from the Az Technology facility, but I can't read it. Any ideas? Oh, let me see. Amstel glances at the files on your PDA. After a moment, he looks back up at you with a raised eyebrow. These files, I can't read them. But I have my suspicions. I believe that you walked out of the facility with the very information that Frau Mueller wanted you to destroy. I strongly suggest you delete this, Necrometer. From what Mueller told us, this information is dangerous, but if you're determined to know what it says, you could try to tell Smallinger Algernon. I have no doubt he could translate it for you. Yeah, let's just delete it. Warning, this is a one-way operation. Deleted files will be non-recoverable. Directory. Make payment. If you are receiving this message, I have fled the country or am otherwise unavailable. Don't worry, you'll still be getting paid. I've made the appropriate preparation. In any case, Necrometer, thank you for helping me. Please do not attempt to contact me again. As far as the world and my former employers are concerned, I am buried under a ton of rubble. It is best I remain that way. Goodbye, Yvonne Jimenez, aka Brown Bueller. A moment later, a second message pops into your inbox. Your payment details. cents of the Ellis Fund. We have 58,000. We only need 50. Go back. Ron Hill. Heinrich's face appears. He looks pale and haggard. His eyes are rimmed with red. Well, you really screwed us. Hope you're happy about that. An hour after your little party at the Yazzie compound, the whole district was crawling with knight errant, and who do you think they came to see? You guessed it, Drexel. They came to us, just like you said. We said they would. Danny's dead, Mira's a wreck, and we need to keep moving just to stay alive, all thanks to you. Hope you're out in hell. You guys could have run. The message ends and the image fades. You find yourself back at your inbox. Thank you for your assistance. As a sign of our appreciation, we've decided to reward you with a piece of biotech that one of our operators acquired on a recent job. Maybe we should take advantage of this. Go see Dr. Escobar. Plantation surgery has already been paid for. There will be no cost. Thanks again for your help. Enjoy your new toy. Feel that shake a few hours ago? Not an earthquake. Yazzie facility went sky high downtown. Boom. You can see the smoke from here. A friend of mine down there says it was a power spike that blew the generators. I doubt it. Only Shadowrunners have that sense of flare. You're kidding me. That huge one that sprung up 6 months ago? Place must have cost millions to build. It was runners. Hope they got a major payday. No way I'd go anywhere near a Yazzie facility without a trunk full of ammo and a mage watching my back. Honestly, the power spike version sounds more likely. I've walked past that facility and they have guards posted at the door 24/7, not to mention the automated turret systems backing them up. No way someone got paid to waltz through that shiza. No way. So, dig this. Apparently there were some survivors wandering around the U-Bahn station near this blast site. Some Bumona folks approached to see if they had accounts. One of them said that they had to keep running, and they all took off down the tunnel. Well, sure. With a blast of that magnitude, they were probably all in shock. I got another post about a bunch of glassy-eyed people wandering around. It said they were all wearing hospital gowns. The Bumona people must have hooked them up. They keep all kinds of medical gear in their rescue wagons. Maybe, or maybe they were Yazzie guinea pigs. Maybe. Readers have it on good authority that the Labachevsky Syndicate is eyeing Shetnest for expansion. For the good of the Flux, we should keep a watchful eye on the situation. See the attached files for more details. Rangers. Okay, bad news for Shetnest, but if the Rambach isn't going to stop them, and I hear Surf Turf is out of the picture, well, I'm sure there's some polyglot out there who wants a piece of the pie. I know we've got enough of them. I know that Humanus has some presence there, but I doubt they'd fight the Russians too much. I'd say they're far more likely to form a partnership. I've got solar panels like everybody, but does anyone have experience with these mana turbine services? I'm off the grid, so there are some times when I need to do some late night decking or maintenance on my telescoping limbs. Is that the thing where mages come by and drop some juice into a generator? My buddy was telling me about them last week. The turbine spins mana around and the charge lasts for weeks, he said. They're a scam, chummer. That mage is going to be out of there with your money before you realize how much power you've actually got. You're better off peddling a bike battery. Account admin override required. Password required. Current admin user Paul Amson. Necrometer, please speak with me when you're ready to proceed with Allison's payment. One sec. Why are you looking at me like that? What? Love you, buddy. Password for the transfer. Amsel sucks in a deep breath. He suddenly looks as though an enormous weight has been lifted from his shoulders. Yes, very good. Excellent, in fact. This has been a long time coming, Necrometer. Telling me. Amsel turns to open a file on his computer. All right, Necrometer, before you make this transfer, there are a few things that you should know. Firstly, this is a one-way operation. Once the funds have been transferred to the cred stick, the only person who will be able to access them is Alice. As far as the team is concerned, the money will simply disappear. It's not like we were planning on doing anything else with it anyway. Keep going. Secondly, once you make your way to the rabbit hole with the funds, it's go time. I trust you understand what I mean by that. Yeah, I've got it. It's pretty self-explanatory, Paul. We drop everything and head straight for the rabbit hole. Correct. Once you've left to see Alice, her information will be your only priority. No more distractions and no more side work. I'll busy myself canceling your remaining jobs and smoothing any ruffled feathers. Makes sense. Anything else? Just that you need to be sure before committing to this. Time is important. A great dragon wants us dead, and it's not a thing to take lightly. But you shouldn't return to the rabbit hole unless you are prepared to act. If you have any doubts, then I'd urge you to wait. Ready to proceed. Password is Volklingen. Once you are en route to the rabbit hole with the funds for Alice's payment, I will cancel the team's remaining obligations. Understood? I have to say, Necrometer, this lifts an enormous weight off my shoulders. When Monica brought you on board, I was initially unsure about you. I would never have said that to anyone else, of course, but I kept you under a watchful eye. I can see now that I needn't have doubted her. I needn't have doubted her judgment. She chose her successor well. Now, please, go fetch the information from Alan. He claps his hand on your shoulder. We're one step closer to surviving this mess. Careful, buddy. Funds disappear from your account. Moments later, a message pops up on the screen. Transfer complete. Sitting in its dock on the keyboard, a green LED blooms to life on Alice's cred stick. The trigger has been pulled. The rabbit hole awaits. You did that of your own accord, buddy. There is no goading. There was no rage baiting. You just walked over and decided to start biting and clawing. No, that was bad. You learn? Yeah. Are you bored? Is that it? Oh, sure. Yeah. Okay. Playtime tomorrow? Okay. Come on. Good boy. All righty then. Please tell me you have the new gear for me now. Nope. Yeah, we're just going to could have gone to get a BioWare, but I don't care. Any cred stick feels heavy in your pocket, fat with the weight of hard-won new yen. The U-Bahn station swallows you up and sends you hurtling down the rabbit hole towards Alice, towards the information you've bled for. The train pulls up to the train pulls to a stop and the doors hiss open to the dark old platform. With luck, answers lie ahead. Alice's console stands alone against the filthy wall of the U-Bahn platform. The colorful sprites that flicker across the screen stand in sharp contrast to the surrounding grime. Credstick port in the machine greedily accepts your payment. You watch as the black plastic of the Credstick's case disappears into the console. Moments later, a message winks onto the screen. Necrometer, couldn't wait for you any longer. Something is tracking me. Something terrible. Need you to get out of town? Go dark for a while. I need to get out of town. Go dark for a while. If you're smart, you will too. But a deal's a deal. When you punch the flashing button on the console, it'll spit out an optical chip with your information. Take my advice. Whatever this Valclair business is to you, drop it. Drop it and run. And for God's sake, Necrometer, stay out of the Matrix. It isn't safe. The message fades from the screen and a button on the console begins to flash. Press the button. You can hear the whine of motors spinning up in the arcade cabinet's guts. With a smooth mechanical motion, a generic brand optical chip slides out of the payment port in front of you. Abruptly, the screen goes black. The console powers down. The optical chip sits in its cradle, waiting for you to take it. The instant that chip leaves the cradle, the machine reboots itself. You are, again, alone. As you settle in for your trip back to the Cruise Bazaar, you can feel the rest of the world compartmentalize and fall away. No more distractions, just you, the train, and the optical chip. It sits in your pocket like a hot stone, impossible to ignore. The train ramps up to speed, filling the air with monotonous electrical whir. The sound is soft and low and urgent, like the droning wings of an enormous insect. It'd be soothing if your mind weren't occupied with other matters. All at once, the monotony is broken. Your PDA is buzzing. A quick glance at the screen tells you that you're receiving a call and that Paul Amsel is on the other end. You hit the receive button on your PDA. One look at the grainy image that blossoms to life on the screen is enough to tell you that something has gone terribly wrong. The strangled sounds of panicked breathing punch through your PDA's tiny speakers. In the image window, you can see the outlines of figures silhouetted against the backdrop of Amsel's shop. The view rotates, bringing them toward the center of the frame. The image sharpens. In the center of the screen stands an enormous orc in battle armor. A hand cannon leveled at something just out of frame. His face is a shiny mat of grafted tissue, his smile like something out of a nightmare. You watch powerless as the orc's grin widens. The frantic breaths that you hear coming from off-screen increase in frequency. From off-screen, you hear Amsel's frantic voice. Aldrin, please, tell me what this is all about. What are the Firewing's plans? You're going to kill me anyway. Don't send me to the grave with that. Your stomach drops as the gun bucks and roars in the orc's hand. Your view on the PDA pitches wildly, then comes to a sudden stop with a violent cracking sound. Burst of static floods the screen. Moments later, the dark shape falls into view with Moments later, dark shape falls into view. How'd you get over there so quick? Okay. Falls into view with equivalent force. You hear the unmistakable sound of bone crunching against hardwood. The camera auto-adjusts and the dark shape swims into focus. You are staring into and through the dripping cavernous ruin of what was once a human head. The remnants of the face that remain are enough to confirm what your gut already knows. The body on the screen is that of Paul Amsel. From out of frame, far away, you can hear another voice. A woman, young from the sounds of it, with a military kit. What now, sir? We press our advantage, jam their comms or take out. Sounds of hurried motion recede into the background. All right, remember people, Amsel was the brains of the operation, but the rest will put up a lot more fight. Flush them out and take them down one by one. Another voice chimes in, a young man this time. Sir, look at Amsel's wrist, the PDA. I think that it's recording. God fucking damn it. You hear another roar. You hear the roar of another gunshot and the screen goes dark. Your vision swims and the screen of your PDA seems to fade away. The impact of what you've just witnessed hammers you in the gut, over and over again. Amsel is dead, the cruise bazaar is under attack, and it's entirely possible that an ambush party is already waiting to meet you at the U-Bot platform. Whatever your attackers have planned, you won't be able to do much about it from here. The train is speeding towards the cruise bazaar station. No more stops between you and the enemy. Nothing to do but prepare yourself and wait. The barrel of Iger's rifle swings upward. She emerges from cover, turning to face you. About time you showed up. The light plays off Iger's face like a street light on a rain-slick asphalt. Her face, neck, and chest are sheeted in slick, dark liquid. Blood. A lot of blood. Where are you hit? I'm not. This little bastard, on the other hand. Iger wipes her mouth with the back of her hand and hoists a corpse up from behind her makeshift barricade. A young man, maybe in his early 20s, his eyes frozen wide in surprise. What's left of his throat hangs down in ragged flaps. Made one hell of a mistake. So let him close the distance on you like that. Even the best shooters have to reload sometime. Did you meet with Alice? Do you have our information? Yeah, I got it. An optical chip. We'll have to use my mission computer to open it. Whatever's on that chip, these bastards don't want us to read it. All the more reason to do exactly that. After we put the rest of them in the ground, that is. Iger, they killed Paul. I saw it. Iger's expression hardens. Yeah, I know. He had us all patched in on that call. We all saw what happened. Figured they tried to ambush you at the platform, ventilate the train, take you out, and cut off a personal escape route in the process. That's what I would do, so I hightailed it out of here and set up an ambush on my own. I hightailed it out here and set up an ambush on my own. Thanks, Iger. She smirks at you. Save it. I'm here to protect the optical chip. That thing cost us 50 grand after all. Anyway, that's enough talk. We've got a job to do. Iger swings her rifle up and over her shoulder. There are an unknown number of hostiles topside. They're well equipped, decently trained, and hellbent on killing us. Last I heard, Glory was on the north end of town. Dietrich was out getting coffee when all hell broke loose. Let's go get them. Go hunting. Plus one action point. Your experience has increased your ability to operate in dangerous situations. Hell yeah. Dag, are you really thinking about biting me again? Please don't. It hurts. Something ahead of you lets out a low, rumbling growl. From the shadows, a primordial sound that echoes down the snowy streets steps into the light. Dante, even from even from this distance, you can feel the heat radiating from the enormous dog's body. He locks eyes with you, and you can see the fire burning within them. He takes a step towards you. Hackles raised. Iger glances at you. Her voice is calm, but you can see the unease on her face. Forgot to mention, Fearless Leader, your dog's acting funny. I can see that. Happened fast, too, just before you got here. I caught sight of him on the way down to the U-Bahn platform, and he looked normal enough. When one of these bastards took a shot at him and winged him. Big mistake. Dante got mad. Real mad. He started shaking and twitching, and I saw fire in his eyes. He was on the guy before I could blink. A few seconds later, the shooter was a red smear on the sidewalk, and Dante, she stabs a thumb in the dog's direction, looked like this. You hungry, Dante? Want some soy jerky? Dante growls low and begins to drool. Droplets hiss as they hit the frozen pavement. He lowers his head, and the hackles on the back of his neck stand stiff. I don't think this is working, Necrometer. It'll work. Easy, buddy. Easy now. Slowly, the wind begins to shift, and he sniffs the air, looking from you to Iger, then back to you. Acknowledgement washes across his face, and his expression softens. His ears stand back up, and you can swear that you see him smile. Dante takes his place by your side. Well, whatever he is, I'm glad he's on our team. Let's find the others. Oop, he died. Rick. Conjurer is the one we need to get rid of. How's that? Zach, can I please see my game? Like, all the information is right behind your body, dude. Yeah? You want to go on your wizard tower? Get you to the wizard tower. Oh. Glory flicks her wrist, sending the wicked blades that extend from her fingertips sliding back into their housings. Necrometer, listen to me. We have a problem. I saw a detachment of mercenaries break away from the main group. They were carrying heavy ordnance, and they appeared to be heading in the direction of the sewers. Best guess, they're planning on bringing the entire block down, reducing the Cruz Bazaar to rubble. What the hell is Blitz? He took off with Malit, said something about jamming the attackers' comms. Don't worry about them. We have to deal with those bombs. Yeah. Yeah. You and your team descend into the sewers, footsteps echoing off the damp stone walls. You barely notice the smell. There's no time to waste. Aldrin's team of mercenaries is down here somewhere, racing to plant their explosive charges beneath the keys. Fate of the Cruz Bazaar is... Okay, let's take another quick BRB. All right. Let's go ahead and just do a quick save because I remember this section being rough. Not as bad as the Mark 6 mission, but I still remember it being rough. Oh, that was a mistake. Cut that, Glory. Sprinting. Bummer. Oops. The ghouls are here to help. That. Kenzo. Trick can get over there. Dante. Get there. Here. There. %68%. 60%. 108% chance of crit. Shame there. Just have to do this instead. Flurry's going to be really hard to hit at this point for them. Oh, there's one. Mage is dead. Renal pump. With a 12% chance. Satisfying. Okay. You emerge from the foulness of the sewers only to be met with the equally dark stench of cordite and death. Although you've saved the keys, it is far from unharmed. Residents wander the street dazed, holding their wounds, tending to others, observing the damage. The look in their eyes tells the story. Their illusion of safety has been shattered. You enter Paul Amsel's trade emporium, already knowing what you'll find there. The knowledge doesn't make the discovery any easier. Once again, the team gathers around Paul Amsel, but tonight he has no more missions to offer and no advice to give. His body lies motionless on the hardwood, cooling in the night air. The ruin of his face has been hidden under a burlap tarp. For several minutes, nobody speaks. Finally, Dietrich steps forward. I think we should say something about Paul. There's another moment of silence, and Iger speaks up. I'll go. Iger brings herself to attention, stares straight ahead. Paul Amsel was an important member of this team, and he supported us well. He said what he was going to do, and he did it. That's rare. That's worthy of respect. She looks down at the body. There is a long pause before she speaks. Thank you, Paul Amsel. Another pause. Her voice up. I was out of position when they came for you. I couldn't save you. So. The others shift uncomfortably, not knowing what to say. Glory breaks the awkward moment, her voice a frosty monotone. I appreciate what Amsel did for us. It's another loss, one that this team can't afford. Glory's eyes sweep across the group, then land on Amsel's body. Her expression is impossible to read. After a moment, she turns her head to look at you. Losing people's heart, no denying it. Paul was a good one and will be. Dietrich nods in agreement and crosses himself. Yeah, he was. He was. Goodbye, Paul. God see mit dir. Gingerly Blitz steps forward. His hair is mussed, and there's a fresh bullet hole in his jacket. He smells like smoke and blood and stale sweat, and his hands tremble as he takes them out of his pockets. Well, I don't know Paul as well as the rest of you, but he seems like a good guy. He shuffles his feet. Didn't want to see this happen, at any rate. You okay, Blitz? You look like you and Malit saw some action back there. Yeah. His eyes remain fixed on Amstel's body. I'll live. As if in turn, Dante lowers his head sadly, lets out a heavy sigh, and closes his eyes. We need to take care of his body. We can't leave. I'll take care of it after we've watched the chip. Don't worry. I know what to do. Be respectful, but be quick. After all, it is only Shell. All is with Monica. We're all going to be with Monica soon if we don't do something. The Fire Wing came after us once. She'll do it again. This is about more than just us. Everyone's in danger. The whole damn F state. Aren't you being a little dramatic? I don't think that he is, Iger Love. I really don't. Come on, everyone. Let's get a look at that optical chip. I want to see what we're dealing with. Where you going, Zach? Well, what? You are... Really? Come here. Yes. No bites. Zach, are you bored? There's better ways to communicate that you're bored. There are. I mean, that's not the best one, but that's still better. I'm almost done, buddy. I don't think... Use ability to reload her equipped weapons for 0 IP. Cooldown 7. Target 2 enemies in 1 action. Speed loader. Dragon Slayer's Wrath. Dragon Slayer now harms all foes within 3 tiles of Dietrich for 16 damage. On subsequent rounds, targets take 5 HP and 1 AP damage. Cost 1 AP, duration 3. Ogre is more powerful, decreases incoming damage by an additional 2 points. Ruger Super Warhawk. Kind of neat. Not going to go for it. You slot the optical chip into the computer's waiting chip jack. On the screen, Alice's office blossoms into view. Half a second later, a real-time simulation of Alice appears, seated behind her mahogany desk. Something about it reminds you of a figure from a wax museum, lifelike, but dead inside. It greets you with a facsimile of Alice's joyless smile. Customer name, Necrometer. Its voice is hollow, synthetic, an automaton masquerading as a living woman. One who you've never even met in the flesh. Account number 101279. Greetings, valued customer. I am an offline simulacrum of the Alice persona. I have been included on this chip to answer any questions that you might have about your information purchase. Nifty piece of tech. Not now, Blitz. If you are ready to proceed, I will present Alice's findings. You may interrupt this presentation at any point by saying, Alice, I have a question. Is that the only thing you'll respond to, or can I talk to you like a normal person? Simulacrum, hit you slightly. You may interrupt this presentation at any point by saying, Alice, I have a question. That answers that. We're ready, and let's get this show on the road. Very well, commencing presentation. The simulacrum goes rigid for a moment, then seems to relax. When it speaks, it sounds more natural, as though the real Alice is speaking through it. Alright, Necrometer, I've got good news for you, and I've got bad news. Let's start with the good. We found Valclair, and he is alive. Odd. The trail to your missing doctor was a long and slippery one. The fee you paid me barely covers my costs for the job. I sent a team to the SOX on a fact-finding mission. I bribed government officials. I greased the palms of wage slaves at megacorps all across Europe. Each step I took eliminated possibilities, drew me a little bit closer, and finally I found the place where Valclair is being held. Simulacrum makes a sweeping gesture with its right hand, and an image switchblades onto the screen. A grainy overhead photograph annotated with a map coordinates. You recognize it immediately. This is where you'll find him. He's being held captive at a remote estate called the Harfeld Manor. You've got to be kidding me. He was there the whole time? Glory says nothing. She just studies the photograph and nods. Okay, nobody tell me. I get it. This is something else that I missed. Alice, I have a question. The simulacrum hitches again, and you can feel life drain out of it. It looks up at you robotically. You have a question. All right, please make your inquiry. Please make your inquiry now. Held at state. What evidence did you turn up to support that? One of my assets at Transys Neuronet provided me with a video feed dated 2053-1010. The feed was taken by a corporate surveillance drone. Playback. The screen fills with grainy black and white video feed. You recognize the Harfeld Manor photographed from high above. The camera pushes in and the image sharpens, though through a barred ground level window you can see the shape of a stooped, emaciated figure. His body shows clear signs of neglect. The figure is unmistakable. It's Valclair, 20 years older and worse for wear. His skin hangs loose on his bones and his cheeks are hollow. There's a distinctly gray pallor to his skin. Valclair, all right. What's left of him, anyway. It doesn't look like they've been feeding him much. He shakes his head. Poor bastard. Another figure steps into the frame behind Valclair. An orc. He turns his head slightly, and the skin grafts catch the light. Valclair slowly turns to face Shadowrun, and the video feed cuts out. The simulacrum stares at you impassively. Do you have another question? What else did you turn up about the Harfeld Manor? Seismological data and thermal imaging confirm the existence of a large hollow chamber under the estate. It is my suspicion that Dr. Valclair is being held somewhere within the substructure. If Hirschwing's kept Valclair trapped there for almost 20 years, she's got to have a reason for it. It takes effort and resources to lock away a man for that amount of time. So what's her endgame in all of this? Why not just kill him and be done with it? Malice? Revenge? Who knows? Remember, this was the man that shot her down. He sent her crashing into a radioactive wasteland. If somebody did that to me, I'd want to hurt him too. And I'd make it last. I think it goes deeper than that. According to Winters' DVD, Valclair designed the experimental weapon that shot her down, and the weapon split her body from her essence. Glory glances down at her own steel chrome arms and suppresses a shudder. If I had to guess, I'd say she's trying to make him fix whatever he did to her. That's what makes sense to me. There's a moment of silence as the group processes Glory's suggestion. Before anyone can speak, the simulacrum cuts back in. No more questions? Very well, feel free to enter. Simulacrum pauses and a brief tremor washes over its body. Its eyes flutter and you can hear the sound of your computer working to process more of the chip's data. Hager turns to address the team. If Valclair's at Harfeld, we've got problems. The last time we broke into that place, they took Monica out. It was a miracle that any of you got out alive. Yeah, but now we know it's down there. This time we'll be prepared for it. We can handle this. Hager shakes her head. No, it'll be even worse this time. First time we went in, we had the element of surprise on our side. But now they'll be expecting us. They're hunting us, remember? Their security team is going to be waiting for us, Dietrich. That Aldrin bastard is going to be waiting for us. And even if we make it past them, we're going to have to deal with the dragon in the basement. Well, what else can we do? Cut and run? Last time I checked, that wasn't an option either. Even if it were, I wouldn't take it. I'm not running from this, not after what they did here tonight. None of us are, Glory, but Iger's right. We can't just go charging in there again, not without some kind of edge. Simulacrum jerks back to life. It resumes speaking, blissfully unaware of the conversation it's cutting off. And now, Necrometer, on to the bad news. You know where Valclair is, but rescuing him will not be possible. Alice, I have a question. He continues without waiting for a response. Why the hell not? In the course of my investigation, I encountered something terrifying in the Matrix. It was fast, cunning, and very definitely intelligent. I am convinced that I only escaped because it let me go. It could have killed me in a heartbeat if it wanted to. This thing that I met is protecting the Harfeld Manor, and it's going after anyone who gets too close to what's happening. Alice, what did you see in there? What is going after these people? By way of explanation, I would like you to read the following. Simulacrum makes another sweeping gesture, and the menu slides back onto the screen. This time it is filled with text. What you are looking at is an archived forum discussion from the early days of the Shadowrun's BBS. Blitz stares at the text on the screen. It isn't kidding, Chief. This discussion is dated back to 2036. That's ancient history in the decking community. It probably isn't even correct to call these guys deckers. Hackers would be the more appropriate term. When you're finished reading it over, say, Alice, I'm done, and we can continue. Read the archived discussion. As you lean in and read, the text slowly begins to scroll up from the bottom of the screen. You'll hear about the SK team that got crisped a few hours ago? The whole lab's worth of researchers, all burned and broken beyond recognition. Ugly stuff. Awkward. Man, he's been running a while, and at this point, who hasn't? Power spike got him right through their data jacks like a bolt of lightning through the brain. 1 in a million accident is what they're saying. Do you believe that? Got a more plausible explanation? Yes, actually, it was a cleanup operation. Got me intrigued. What were they cleaning up? A secret project that Loftweir didn't want anything to do with. You might have heard the rumors about it. The project name was Apex. And you've lost it. Apex, Clockwork? Seriously? That old line of Drek? I'm telling you, jokers, Apex is real, or at least it was, until the Wizworm pulled the plug. Come on, Clockwork, we're still decades away from seeing a fully functional AI, and you know that. Those Apex stories that have been floating around, they're just some conspiracy nuts wet dream. Fine, keep your heads in the sand, some of us know the truth when we read it. Okay, Clock, I'll humor you, but riddle me this. If Loftweir had an armed and operational AI in its claws, why kill it? You remember what happened to most of Echo Mirage? The crash fires killed them, fried their brains, but I don't see what that has to do with anything. With the commercial release of the CDT-1000, some security firms are working on counter-intrusion software that can do the same thing. Black Ice. You can look it up if you don't believe it. Ooh, scary stuff, man. Well, the goal of Apex project was even scarier. Ice waits for you to come to it. Apex wouldn't be bound by those restrictions. It could go out hunting, hit its targets when they least expect it. That's why they call it the Apex. It was designed to be the apex predator of the digital world. And so rather than using it to his advantage, Loftweir decided to kill it in its cradle. The Wizworm's no fool. Some things are too dangerous to play around with. How would you put that genie back in the bottle if it ever slipped out of your control? Answer, you couldn't. And then it would take over the world. Okay, this thread has officially gone off the rails. I'm closing it down for the good of mankind. Alice, I'm done. The simulacrum jerks back to life and settles into a neutral pose. There are no official records of the Seder Corrupt database, in the Seder Corrupt database to support the existence of Apex project, but the thing I encountered was Apex. Of that I am certain. Just as I am certain that Apex was responsible for the death of Monica Schaefer, Green Winters, Clockwork, Peregrine, and a score of other Deckers over the last 16 years. Let's raise his hand. Hold up. Alice, I have a question. I thought they said that Loftweir killed Apex. They speculated as much, yes. They were wrong on that count. I do believe that Seder Corrupt was developing Apex as a tool for Matrix warfare. I'm also convinced that the IT personnel who were killed were the Apex development team. But I don't think that Loftweir was responsible for their deaths. Apex killed them. That'd be my guess, yes. The turmoil surrounding Loftweir's buyout of Seder Corrupt, a number of projects went missing. I believe Apex was appropriated by a member of Fiercewing's organization at this point. It was then unleashed on its own development team to silence them. Since then, it has provided information control for the firewall. A pet AI would explain how Fiercewing has managed to maintain her conspiracy and avoid detection for the past 2 decades. Anytime anyone gets close, the AI takes them out and scrubs the record clean. So there's your bad news, Necrometer. Valclair is being held at Harfeld Manor, but knowing that does you no good because you can't approach the place. I doubt you could open the door without Apex Ryan. Did last time. They were trying to protect their secret, like Aldrin said. If we hadn't gone down into the basement, they'd have let us go. Apex didn't react to us until Monica attempted to force the door to the basement. And now that the cat's out of the bag, they have no reason not to pull out the big guns on sight. Dietrich grimaces. You're right, we can't go back while Apex is in play. Dragon falls silent. Finally, Iger turns. What's the play, Necrometer? We can't turn back now. If Apex is standing between us and Valclair, then we need to find a way to kill Apex. Fucking A, boss, I'm in. Did you hear that, Alice? Do you have any suggestions? The simulacrum hitches again, the pause stretches, finally comes back to life. The AI has a kill switch, but Alice deemed any additional contact with Apex to be an unjustifiable risk. Attempting to reach the kill switch would be inadvisable. If Alice was gonna kill this thing, I owe Monica that much. You and me both. Alice, tell us about Apex's kill switch. Simulacrum stares at you with dead eyes. Thanks to my close encounter with the AI, I was able to run a trace on it. Through this trace, I discovered the physical address of a backdoor access point for Apex's program, an old Seder corrupt research lab long since abandoned and fallen into disrepair. The facility is now hotly contested gang territory. I also have determined that the kill switch for the AI exists somewhere in the basement of this facility. I'll provide you with a physical address. I don't like the smell of this, Chief. It said that Apex let Alice escape. He turns to address the simulacrum on the screen. Alice, why would a Matrix Warfare AI allow you to run a trace on it? It stares straight ahead. Its eyes are dead. I'm afraid the answer to that question falls outside of the scope of my written parameters. The simulacrum stutters one final time, then looks up at you with an apologetic smile. You've now reached the end of the presentation. I have been encoded with a final message from Alice to Necrometer. Playback commencing. The simulacrum's eyes go wide and life floods back into it. It stares directly at you. Necrometer, if you didn't listen to me before, listen to me now. Drop this. Stop going after Valclair. Get out of Berlin. And stay out of the Matrix. I'm telling you this for your own good. That's all I have to say. I'm following my own advice. I'm out. Don't try to contact me again. The simulacrum reverts its idle state, something like a puppet with its strings cut. Its eyes glaze over and its face goes slack. Then the screen cuts to black. So the dragon has a killer AI in charge of security. Can't say that I'm surprised, but then nothing surprises me anymore. We know what killed Monica, we have a name for it, and we know how to kill it. It's good enough for me. We know what we have to do. We can either stand around talking about it or we can go do it. We agreed. We shut down Apex, then we re-enter the estate and rescue Valclair. He's the key to this whole thing. Sounds like a plan, boss. I still say that all of this is crazy talk, Chief. Taking on an AI isn't just a bad idea, it's suicide. My vote is to cut and run. Blitz surveys the rest of the group, sees the determination in their faces. Finally, he sighed. But if you're really doing this, you'll want the best decker you can find along for the ride, and I guess that nominates me. Woo. No, actually, I think I'm better than you. Alice said that the kill switch is located in some old SK facility. Assuming the site was shut down sometime after Apex project disappeared, it could have stood empty for years, maybe decades. She also said that the building was in gang territory now. I wonder if it'll be anything like Das Kesselhaus was. God, I hope not. There's only one way to find out. Let's get prepped. This thing isn't going to kill itself. And don't forget, boss, we're taking on an AI here. I'd recommend bringing the best cyber deck that you can afford. Something tells me that we're going to need all the firepower we can get. Iger begins her weapons check. Improvise, adapt, overcome. Whatever's there, we'll deal with it. First, we'll find our way into the basement. She peers through the scope on her sniper rifle. And then we kill the AI to kill it. Damn right. The team breaks and begins gearing up. As she slides a shell into her shotgun, Iger catches your eye. You did good out there defending the Cruise Bazaar. You had our backs the entire way. Made good decisions. I appreciate that. Now you need to forgive yourself. You weren't out of position, Iger, and you know it. Iger scowls at the floor. Thanks. Can't do it, but thanks. Anyway, we should get back to it. We've got an AI to take you out. She pauses for a moment, frowning. Necrometer, do me a favor and keep your eyes open on this one. We're walking into the unknown here. Makes me a little... Don't worry, Iger, I've got your back. She smiles, claps you on the shoulder. I know you do, and I've got yours. You've more than earned. Let's get to work. Without another word, the troll slides her shotgun into the sheath on her back and turns to continue her pre-mission checklist. Gotcha. Prepare for... Okay. We're going to be calling it here. Yeah, it's a little shorter for this, but... we started late because we did other things. We only have $70 left. People want to see me play Phasmophobia in VR. The attack, so much death. She shakes her head. I had not killed since I retired from running in the shadows, not until today. But you're not here to listen to me complain. She forces a smile. So what can I get for you? Name it and I will provide. Here, Excalibur. And then I'm going to want Blaster 3, Erosion 3, Killer 3, Medic 3, Shield 3. What's he do? Two, three, four, five. Yeah, okay. Oh, I should check to see outfits. Yeah, Matrix Echo. I was afraid of that. Never is clear to me that you haven't placed high enough priority on retrieving my property. Evidently, you feel that your other responsibilities are more important. I decided to lighten your load by withdrawing my offer. Bingo, no hard feelings, it's just business. Sorry about that. It's fine, my needs are being seen to. It's your loss, not mine. Okay, we're gonna call it here before I go to the run. And hopefully be finishing up the game on Sunday. We'll see. Okay. Save here. But yeah. Okay, we made a lot better progress than I thought we were gonna make tonight. So yeah. Do I raid Loopy again? Do I raid Loopy again? Raid Loopy again. Yep. Cool. Ooh, I need to double check. Might be EDF tomorrow. Might just be more Shadowrun instead. We'll see. Um, depends on Yeah. So we might be doing EDF tomorrow. We might be doing Shadowrun either way. If we finish Shadowrun tomorrow, I'll maybe start up a new game Sunday. We'll see. We'll see. Uh, Otherwise, we'll definitely be finished with it this weekend if I am playing it tomorrow. Uh, but it all somewhat depends on if my brother's down. So, yeah. Hopefully, you all enjoyed this tonight. I do like this game, and we're now at the point where I'm able to kind of power trip through it at this difficulty. So we should be able to just kind of cruise through the rest of the game for the most part. Um, Thank you for joining me, and be excellent to each other. Be excellent to yourselves.